Alright guys, so in this video I'm just going to show you how to tie a really basic, simple woolly bugger. So start out with a hook, and I'm deciding to use a 4mm tungsten bead head for this one, just because I need it to get down to where the fish are at, where I fish. So start out with some thread just at the top and wrap your way right back down the hook, all the way to the bend, and then snip off that tag end. Then I use a little bit of flash bow. If I'm using a black woolly bugger, then I'll go with red and black flash bow, and if I'm going with sort of lighter coloured woolly buggers like green or brown or white, then I'll use just normal standard multi-rainbow coloured flash bow. So take like 4 or 5 strands of flash bow and just sort of line them up along the shank there. Pinch and pull, pinch and pull, pinch between your fingers and pull, and just sort of wrap them in like that, really basically. Snip off the upper excess of that, tidy it up a little, wrap, all the way back down to the end where the bend starts and your thread ends. Snip off the excess flash bow from the back of the tail where you want it to stop, so right about there. Then come with some chenille. So for this fly, that comes in like a big strand like this, and snip off a section around about 7 to 10 centimeters long. Then on the end of your chenille, you just want to take your fingers and sort of softly pull away at it, just so that you sort of clear off the thread that is in the core of the chenille. So you get this little tag end here, which is quite slim. The reason that you do this is so that you can tie it along the shank of the hook without creating a large bulge where the material of the chenille is under the thread. So just tie that in there, up to where the chenille starts. So come with some marabou. This is just green marabou here, and just sort of take the end, line it all up, sort of streamline it down there, find the length of the tail you want, snip off the tail there with your fly tying scissors, then come back here and nip that tail in, and just put a few wraps over and pack it down tight without snapping the thread there. Then wrap back up a little bit. As you can see, the body mass of the back of the hook is now starting to increase quite a bit. Now come with your hackle feather, bring a big long hackle feather, this is a green one, and wrap in the tip of that on the bottom end. After stripping away a few of the stray fibres of it, wrap it in thoroughly like that. Bring your thread to the back of the bead head if you have one, or otherwise just bring it up to sort of 2mm behind the eye of the hook. Now come with your chenille, bring it back round and start wrapping it evenly up the shank. As you can see, it gets from large to small as you go up the hook. And once you get to the back of your bead head or your eye of your hooks, just nick it in there with the thread and put a few wraps on either side. Come with your scissors and snip it off close, just like that. Now, at this point, come with your hackle feather. This is your hackle feather here, and you're going to use some hackle pliers because it makes it a whole lot easier. And just find the end of your feather. Do not nip the feather fibers. Nip the central sort of feather. I don't know what it's called, but there's like a line that goes along the middle of the feather. You want to make sure you get that in the hackle pliers and not just the fibres, otherwise the fibres will snap off under any pressure and you'll have to get a whole new fly because it'll be ruined. Now just sort of come down to the bottom of the hook with your hackle feather, try and take any tail fibres out of the way, and then just start to wrap it. Just be quite gentle when you do this, because you can quite easily snap quite a few different types of hackle feather. This is one of them that's quite delicate. And just evenly wrap it with about 2 to 3 millimeter spaces up the shank of the hook. Once you get to the eye, you can do a couple of wraps there, whatever's left over, any excess, build it up a bit, and then pull it forward slightly and come over with your thread with the other hand, and then do a couple of wraps in the front of it and behind it, and snip off the excess. At this point, you just finish off the fly with a couple of whip finishes. So then come with your tying scissors and snip off the excess thread. That's basically the end of the fly there. If you do want to, you can quite happily come with some UV glue, which is what I like to do, and just sort of drip some in on the head there. I'll just try and zoom you guys in a bit on the head. Hopefully you'll see this a little better. Focus. There we go. Come into the head of the fly and just drape a whole bunch of UV glue over it. This is quite good glue because it dries slowly, so that means it has time to drip around and get to the bottom of the head as well. And then come with a UV torch and just dry that all out. And there's your woolly bugger. That should last a lot longer with the addition of that UV glue. Thanks for watching. I hope that this video was helpful and instructional. Definitely get out there and tie a few of these. I catch a heck of a lot of fish on them, especially in winter when basically nothing else is practical, especially where I fish. Definitely subscribe to the channel, hit like if you enjoyed it. If you want to get me to tie any more fly tying videos in the future, then let me know, because I'll be happy to do so. And thanks for watching.